Hey friends, Rob Arlett. It is Tuesday, November the 10th, 1 week after the election. So here's a quick summary of where we've come from and where I believe we're going to go next. As you know, I predicted on election night that President Trump was going to announce himself the winner. He did. I then predicted that Joe Biden, once they were able to manufacture the votes in enough states, whereas he would be deemed the winner by the media and by his campaign, and he did. So far, I'm absolutely correct on my predictions thus far. We all know what their narrative is, but we're on to them, folks. You're on to them. I want to let you know that thus far, nothing is a surprise to me, and nothing is a surprise currently to the campaign. We are moving forward now through the judicial process. Again, a judicial process. The media does not declare a winner. A Joe Biden campaign does not declare a winner. Ultimately, it is you, it is me, it is we the people who deem the winner of the next president of the United States. Based on not our emotions, but based on a legal vote as compared to illegal votes. So we are going to bring forward next in the process, which started yesterday, a judicial process. There are many lawsuits going on right now in various states, to include Pennsylvania, to include Georgia, to include Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Nevada, and potentially even more. What we know is that the irregularity of voting, the perhaps massive amount of fraud, is very wide and very deep. There's plenty of it. If the media chooses to ignore it, to include Fox News, shame on them. Shame on them to not allowing for the process to play out. Look, this has been a battle, as I've shared before, two fronts. Number one is an info war, right? It's an info war. Right now we are battling of information, and we are being suppressed, as we all know, by big tech, to include Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And that's why many people are shifting away from those platforms. But it is an information battle between the big tech and also, of course, the mainstream media. And again, shame on Fox News and others for calling this election way before the evidence is brought forward of potential wrongdoing. Okay? So, but again, not a surprise. We know it. We knew it, as did you. Info war. That's number one. Number two, again, is going to be the judicial battle. It's going to be the judicial war. And again, there are so many whistleblowers. There are so many affidavits that have been brought forward in various states. Massive amount of people are coming forward to share their stories of what they experienced just a week ago. And so I want you to be patient. I want you to take a step back. Despite the media, despite Joe Biden and his quasi office of whatever he wants to call himself, the office of a pre-elect, I guess it is a President of Biden. No such thing, Joe. Nice try, buddy. So nonetheless, I just want to let you know that I predict those that were dancing in the streets this last weekend when Joe announced himself as the winner will be shifting. It'll be shifting into mass rioting and destruction here in the coming weeks. Not going to happen this week, but it's going to happen in the coming weeks as the evidence is brought forward before the American people through the court system. And I don't expect it to be an easy ride through the court system, as we all know. Unfortunately, some of these courts and some of these judges have become very partisan, become very political, despite the fact that they're not supposed to be. So again, I believe, and I predicted 3 months ago, that on a podcast with my partner, Dr. Hurd, on drhurd.com. You can go there and you'll see our podcast. We've got many of them over the various years. The Dr. Hurd Mentality with Rob Arlett. And I predicted in a podcast 3+ months ago before Justice Ginsburg, Associate Justice Ginsburg had even passed away, that the decision would lie with the U.S. Supreme Court. I still believe in leaning in that corner that it absolutely could very likely end up in the U.S. Supreme Court. And if indeed that is the case, we are confident, I am confident, that based on the makeup of that Supreme Court, that those that are there, a majority of those that are there, will look at the evidence as presented and the fraudulent activities as presented and the proof of wrongdoing by many, perhaps even an orchestrated effort by many, to include the software package, right? That we all now know that has, quote unquote, glitches that shifted Trump votes into a Biden corner. We are on to that. We are investigating that. We now are well aware of it, folks. So again, hang in there. Allow the evidence to be presented and the proof. But again, I am confident if it were to end up in the U.S. Supreme Court, based on the evidence that we know up to this date, up to this moment, that the U.S. Supreme Court would vote in favor of President Trump getting reelected based on the fraudulent and illegal votes that were cast in favor of Joe Biden. So take a step back, relax, be patient, and stay tuned as the narrative begins to shift, as it did just last night when Real Clear Politics took away Pennsylvania from Joe Biden. So currently on their website, if you go to realclearpolitics.com, you'll see that Joe Biden is at 259 and President Trump, I believe, is still at 214 as of last night. So they have retracted Pennsylvania from the Joe Biden camp, and I believe that more will eventually do the same. Or not. Doesn't really matter, because it's all about facts presented in a court. So, God bless you. And Delawareans, there is a survey floating around our state that started yesterday, actually on Sunday, forgive me. We want to hear from you, Delaware voters, with regard to potential Delaware voter fraud. So take that survey, see if you've seen it, see if you're aware of it, see if, or even if you're not. And take that survey and then share with other people that you know throughout our state. Because again, we want all legal votes to count and all illegal votes not to count. And those that have been deeming to be fraudulent in their activities shall and must be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. On that note, God bless you, and we will talk to you and see you soon. Bye.